and tonight's kata is Gojushiho Dai. Okay, Gojushiho means 54 steps. I went into the background last week with Gojushiho, but I'll reiterate some of it. It comes through Matsumura, through Itosu, and then it's unclear how the JKA got a hold of it. There is a controversy, sort of whether the names were switched between Gojushiho Sho and Gojushiho Dai, because unlike the other two Sho Dai combination katas, usually in those katas, the Dai version is the bigger and more basic version, and the Sho version has fewer steps and usually smaller, more complex movements. But Gojushiho Dai and Gojushiho Sho seem to be different. So, conspiracy theories aside, I'll talk more about what I think the most plausible theory is out there. One is that unlike Gojushiho, Basai and Kanku, Gojushiho Sho and Gojushiho Dai are so similar that they aren't necessarily one is derived from the other, but rather they might be just different versions of the same kata. We have no idea what they were named before JKA got a hold of them, but it's most plausible that Sensei Nakayama or Sensei Funakoshi, whoever got it first, got Gojushiho Dai first and named that Dai, or named it Gojushiho, and then when they got the second one, they named that one Sho. Okay. So it's, and the SKAIF, Kanazawa's organization, switched the names to add the confusion. So their Gojushiho Sho is our Gojushiho Dai, and vice versa. But it's really not that important because the whole world over, Shotokan pretty much uses the names that we use. What are the main points of Gojushiho? Extensive use of Neko Ashidachi, cat stance, but every single one of them is on the left leg, the weight's on the left leg. So this makes it an excruciating kata to perform because the left leg gets really fatigued. Okay. It also uses extensive use of the Ippon Nukite strike. Okay, to the extent which that Sensei Funakoshi reputedly tried to change the name of this kata to Hotaku, which means woodpecker, but that name didn't catch on. But these kinds of strikes reminded him of the woodpecker. This brings up a point that I don't want to go too deep into, but these kinds of techniques, to some, are of very limited use because it's so easy to injure your finger. Okay? So obviously you have to strike to a vulnerable point in order to do damage. But as importantly, or maybe more importantly, you must understand the difference between traditional karate 100, 200 years ago and the way we practice today. If people look at the old videos and what have you, there's lots of criticism, like, look at, they're not as mobile, we're faster, we have longer stances. But what you have to keep in mind is these people not only trained incessantly, but they conditioned their bodies and their weapons to be extremely strong. So things like Ippon Nukite, they thrust their fingers into sand and pebbles over and over and over again to make these, what we consider odd weapons, work for them. So I wouldn't sell them short. Rather, the moral of the story is, I would think about toughening your weapons if you want your karate to be real, if you ever have to use it for real. Okay, so, like we always do, we'll do the kata together by count, and then I'll get into the analysis. Hey, ready? Gojushiho Dai! Yoi! 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、1、2、3、4、5、6、1、7、8、9、1、2、3、4、5、6、1、7、8、9、10、1、2、3、4、5、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、気合い、8、9、10、1、2、3、4、8、1、乗れ。Okay, so like Gojushiho doesn't fit in this room, a big Ambusan line of performance for this Kata, so I had to shift around a little bit. Okay, first move, Tate Uruken Washiuchi. Vertical back fist strike. What I said for Gojushiho, it's the same first movement. Important to get your weight down. Control the forward movement with your supporting leg, and then shift your weight with the end of the block. Make sure your stance is still moving as you finish the block. So this would be a very poor but typical one. Stance finished, body finished, arms still moving. So it's okay, I've said many times, it's okay for, when you're moving forward into a slow stance, for you to reach your maximum length, and then as you finish the technique, shift your weight from the supporting the rear leg. That's okay. Okay, this first move, it's very important not to do this too exaggerated because it's a vertical back fist strike. You don't come off to the side too much. So it's okay to make a big one. Okay, but don't like go sideways and then come forward. The hip does close with the finishing of the motion. Closes. And same as Gojushiho, you're blocking a punch, shoot on punch, and then striking to here, simultaneously. And I said last week, this is, if you look at Sensei Funakoshi's Niju-kun, he says there's no first strike in karate. Well, but it's okay to strike at the same time as your opponent, apparently, because there are a few kata that do this. Okay, from here, first move. Second move. Morote uke. Then another one. Okay, your fists should be about yay far apart. Okay. The application is to block under the arm, not the wrist, because the opponent wouldn't be that far away from you. They're punching you. But if you block up under the elbows, or thereabouts, this will pop their arms up pretty good. That's pretty much the only application the Japanese instructors show. But I personally tend to think that if they're going to bother going like this, that it probably, the intent was to, this was an attack at the same time. So if somebody's coming shutdown, you slice it, push his arms up, and then strike to here. Same idea as in Hungetsu, striking here. Okay, this could have a uchi as well as a uke block application. Okay. Then, tate shudoke, vertical knife hand block, punch, punch, kick, punch, again, punch, punch, kick, punch. Okay. The important thing about the tate, I think I said this before too. Vertical knife hand block, especially moving into the opponent like this. Don't think of like you're blocking the opponent like this. Okay? Rather, the opponent punching, and you're sliding this hand in, up his arm, you push it to the side, you're sliding your hand up his arm and ending here with your knife hand against his armpit. So that not only is a strike, but it puts him at arm's length to make these two punches, this kick and this punch. He stays right in the same spot. Notice or realize that the kick must be short because it's a counter kick. You're not moving forward. And you should try to keep your weight in the same spot. Kick punch without shifting up and down or your front or hip moving around. Just stay in the same spot. Then next one is forward, rising or tate, NP, elbow strike. Then quickly coming to Tsukuyuke, scooping block, and Koko Sugidashi with your Koko, the tiger mouth, pushing down, pressing down. If you were here, and we do a forward elbow strike, you could think of this as grabbing the opponent's gi or grabbing the opponent and hitting. Or you might be just, somebody's attacking and you're just catching them before they can start their attack. Up to you, but elbow strike, rising elbow strike, typically will come up under the chin. From here, this one, Tsukuyuke, this is exactly the same as Gojushiho. Very important that you, from this position, that you go straight with this one. Don't do anything extra. Don't bring your elbow out or up, or just go straight to here. You're catching the ankle of the opponent's front kick. You pull it off center so it's not in line with your body anymore. Then you cross with this pushing strike and pressure to the knee. And this one works whether you're pressuring the knee this way or whether you're pressuring the knee this way. However, if you hit the inside, the joint is not quite as strong in that direction. Probably do more damage. But either way, the opponent's going to be pushed to the floor. Okay, so we're here. Next, Kata uke in the ippon nukite position. Left hand is crossed like the water flow position, but in the ippon nukite position. Your elbow is on top of the middle of the left hand. Okay? Important is that the same position as unsu. The elbow must be in the same position as any other block, and the wrist is cocked as far as your flexibility will allow. Okay, and you come up and inside, blocking a shoot-down punch, come inside, push it to the side. Okay. Next, opponent comes maybe kicking or punching low. You block geiran, again in the ippon nukite position. And your right hand pulls back to your right ear. So you're pulling your right shoulder back as you block this low attack. Okay. This one, your elbow's close to your body, and you're trying to keep your finger pointed to the target. Some people do this, that's not correct. Because it doesn't, I don't know where it came from, but it doesn't make any sense, because now you're not punching straight with this next technique. You're making an arc with your finger. And we talk about fingers not being so strong, so give them a break so they don't break. Okay. From here, next one. Three ippon nukite, called otoshi ippon nukite, meaning falling strike. First, unlike unsu, where this pivots on the elbow, these are thrusts, so they go in. Okay. The oldest reference for this kata I had to look at was Best Karate itself. I don't have any older videos except kind of what I foggily remember myself. But so this is described in Karate-do, in Best Karate and the recent text as a chudan attack. But almost nobody goes chudan. They're mostly going low with this. In Best Karate, they have their hand turned downward as they strike. Now almost everybody is perfectly straight. And the target has variously been described in bunkai as anywhere from solar plexus to the ribs to the arteries and nerves in your groin area to this space between the muscles on your thigh. Let's see if you can do this exercise. Go into a left cat stance with your right leg. Try to relax your right leg completely. And with your index finger, start poking around, right up around here. And you're going to find a spot, it's not even that small, where, where it hurts. That means between the muscles, there's a little valley. There's a bundle of nerves there. So if you find that, that's where you know where you're supposed to strike. Of course, it's hard to figure out where that is on your opponent. Backing up one move. First, I shouldn't even bother going into it because there aren't that many changes between Best Karate and now. It seems like the texts are pretty similar. But there was, and I remember doing this. I remember doing this and pointing the finger downward when I first learned the kata. But now it's supposed to be straight. But the preceding move, they used to do like this. So this was a tate shutoge. Okay. So either way, you're blocking something first, geiran or chudan, and then making these strikes. Okay, so that's the old way. This is the old way. This geiran in the ippon nukite position is the current way. Think of these for application, besides the target. Once you come to here, you block, You kind of wind up getting ready. Think of these as block counter combinations. Or block attack combinations. So the opponent's punching, and you slice inside his arm. Slice inside his arm and strike to him. He punches again, you slice inside his arm. Punches again, you slice inside his arm. Okay? And the course, this is the same as the Gojushiho. The course is the same as Gojushiho. You're coming over the top of the hand like this. So it could mean that you're releasing, so you're grabbing, you're striking to their hand, same as you are in Gojushiho. So a little bit variation, variable bunkai, your idea what you want it to mean. Okay, so we did one of these. Then we go to the other side, and we do another one. And there's a little bit yoryashi there, shifting. If you do it correctly, you are going to shift into cat stance. Okay, not kosadachi, switch to cat stance. So a lot of people end up kind of landing flat-footed and then switching the weight. But that's not entirely proper. Okay. What I was about to say is we switch directions in these stances. Some of the older videos that I saw, and I think I remember this myself, they were doing this just like unsu, making a circular sweeping motion. But now, most people don't do any motion, they just come to here. Some people go like this a little bit, kind of help me in a little bit, but it's not supposed to be a big sweeping circle like unsu, just go to position. Nonetheless, at least one of Kobayashi's seminars I was watching, he suggested that this could be one of the bunkai for this, from this position to sweep with the heel. So the thought is still an option. We just don't do the movement when we're doing the kata. Okay, we are here. We did two of those sets. So we went in, 1, 2. Next, Haito, Geiranuke. I didn't talk about this in Gojushiho, but if you want to make these sharp, the rules about twisting your hip at the end still apply. So what you want to do is, the back foot, the hands come up, you got to make a big motion. The back foot comes here, the hands will start down, and the hip must turn at the end of the block, not through the whole thing. So get your idea. I even said this in hand shoulder, of moving the leg and doing the hip at the end. Then your movement will be sharper. So, Haito, okay. This one is slow. Barbara said the text says it's like stalking. Okay, waiting, watching to a point. Then the next one, bow, Tsukami, okay. Then again, stalking, bow, Tsukami, okay. And back to here again. Okay. Bow, Tsukami, okay means grabbing the bow, block. Consideration is now you do want that line from here to here to be in a straight line. Okay? I'm sorry, here. So this finish is the same, but it's here, but the hands are closed. I'm sorry, and this one's down. So, the important thing about the hand position here is if you're grabbing the bow, you have to be in the 1/3 rule. So if you're not doing this, your hands are apart. About yay much apart to this position. Okay, all right, that part's easy. Of course, the bow's supposed to be coming down on you like this, so you wouldn't be grabbing it like this, you'd be grabbing it like this. We've seen this one before in Basai. Basai Sho comes to here, and Meikyo does that one. But this part, if you were pulling the bow away from the opponent, this part is there. This part. Catch, go. But once you come to here, you can't get to here without somehow changing the grip. Okay. Okay, then we're here, and we do another set of these. Now, Geiran Nukite, four-finger Nukite. Important point here is don't bring your bow direct. Don't bring your elbow outside the line. Make sure you're coming down the middle from here to here. Then, vertical back fist strike. Geiran Nukite. Vertical back fist strike. Then, washide, otoshi uchi, eagle's beak falling strike. Okay, so this should be a big arc, and then washide sukiagi means upward thrust with the eagle beak. Okay, the upward thrust part is always, first you have to make a big arc. This one should be a big arc, and this one should be quick. 1, 2. Okay? Refocusing your body, not just using your arm to make this technique. The target for the upward thrust is invariably always under the chin, the soft part under here. The falling strike can be to the small bones in the hand. If you take your finger, just behind your wrist there's a little hole right here, a little dent. Go ahead and push in there. Right there on the wrist, just behind the two wrist bones, right there. Okay, or tense my arm. There's a groove right here. Okay, you can hit right in that groove. And if you relax your arm, you can try to find where's that spot. Oh, I got mine right there. Ow. Okay, where the nerves are most exposed to this kind of pointed strike. Okay, so any of those targets is fine for this falling uchi strike. Okay, so 1, 2. Then my eri punch and simultaneously making down block and joran elbow strike. Okay. Make sure this one is joran, not this way, but up. Okay. Your hand should come up to make this sequence quick, and it should be quick. Your hand should come up when your kick is snapping back, like this. Okay, so make sure, try to get that kind of timing. Doing it very slow motion. Kick, go as it snaps back, go. Okay. Same. Okay, and then we're here. Again, make a big one here. Snapping the hip at the end. Haito, Keiran, okay. Cross slowly. Then Tate shutta uke. Again, when you do this kind of motion, you want to be your hand up against the opponent's armpit, slicing inside his punch. Then nuki Tate churan. This is kamai, protecting him from the side. Okay, then some people make a little bigger ones, some people go pretty directly from here. Most do. Slow. The rules are the same as Gojushiho show. From here, as you bring your vertical knife hand out, you want to pull your opposite shoulder way back and keep your knee in, so you're going in opposite directions with these. So you're kind of winding up your body to make the strike. Okay? With this winding up, okay, from here, you want a little bit pause here. Then go. Not that slow, faster, but don't rush that movement, because you got to make a focus here. Okay. Then from here, next one is back to the beginning of the kata, just like Gojushiho show. Tate uriken, block the punch, closed hip. Next, go from this direction. Kensui uchi, just like Gojushiho show. Oizuki, just like Gojushiho show. Kid. Okay, think of the Kensui uchi. Bottom fist strike. One application is that somebody's grabbing your wrist and you're getting rid of their grip, at the same time striking the opponent. Another application is they're punching, you slice inside the punch, and the strike to punch to ribs, these kinds of applications. And lunge punch. Okay, next, so Gojushiho came to here. Now the position is going to be different, but the movements are otherwise. All the emphasis is exactly the same. We come to here. Okay, somebody is on our back. This position is the same as in Hamgetsu, the same as Jion, the same as Basai. The important thing is that the elbows or the forearms face each other. Don't pull them back. It forms a power. Okay, so this is just another position where you can rise up and bump somebody's arms up who've got their arms over their shoulder. Okay, so if they still got a really good grip on you, this one is bottom fist strike, Kensui Hasami-uchi, scissor strike, and back to here, and here. Exactly, this one is exactly like Gojushiho show. The important point is you're leaning forward, striking the opponent to the ribs with the bottom fist strike. Okay? The act of leaning forward causes the opponent to lean forward, and he'll lose his grip, especially if you hit him hard. And when you come up again, he's very unlikely to have a good hold on you. Next move, just like Gojushiho show, you must not do anything with your arms. Lock them in and turn the hip. And just like Gojushiho show, if he's still holding on to you, that movement will throw him to the side. That twist of the hip. Okay? And just like Gojushiho show, I said, for Gojushiho show, if he doesn't get thrown by twisting the hip, if he's just kind of loosely next to you, when you go like this, the elbow will hit him in the ribs, but this time higher, under the armpit, but it still hurts there. All right, what I didn't talk about is the timing of especially the first one, this one. Okay, I found no instance of anybody doing it fast. I'm almost certain I learned it fast. In Gojushiho, this move was fast. when I learned it. And now everybody's doing this one slow, and then fast. Okay? It wouldn't surprise me if Sensei Ueki's intention for this kata was the same as the other one, that he didn't want that to be slow, but everyone is doing it slow. In best karate, it doesn't say anything about the tempo, so you can't infer from still pictures what Sensei Osaka is doing. Okay, but the videos, even the one of Sensei Ogura they sent out, he came in slow here, and everyone's doing it slow. All the instructors are teaching it slow. Then fast, fast. Okay. Next, I go to Shosho, but in the Ippon Nukite position of the hands. Okay. Kakiwake, wedge block, or just kakiwake position, depending on your bunkai idea. But of course, this action can block a punch to the front, it can block a punch to the side, or kick to the side, it can block a bow, either side or front. Okay, then, together, like unsu, kito, okay. Chicken head block. Okay. Then, together, shift, thrust, kiai, snap back. Okay. Then, go to the final motion. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up our JKA Karate Kata seminar for today, Gojushiho Dai. And next week I'm going to tackle Teki Sandan. And until then, train hard and train smart. And we'll see you.